Have you ever noticed how more and more younger women are drawn to older men? You see it everywhere. On social media, in coffee shops, in conversations that make people whisper, "What does she even see in him?" But what she sees is something most people overlook. She sees calm, presence, and a kind of emotional safety that feels rare in today's restless world. This isn't just a dating trend, it's a psychological shift. Attraction is evolving not toward looks or status, but toward peace, depth, and maturity. The modern dating world is loud and exhausting. Everyone is chasing validation, attention, and short bursts of dopamine. Behind every perfect selfie and flirty text, there's often emotional fatigue. Younger women notice this too. They date men their age who seem exciting at first, but soon, the cycle repeats. Inconsistency, mixed signals, emotional unavailability. One day he's affectionate, the next he's cold. One week he's all in, the next he disappears. Eventually, she begins to associate love with chaos, and when she finally experiences peace, it feels magnetic. When she meets an older man, everything slows down. He listens instead of interrupting. He's calm, grounded, confident in silence. He doesn't chase, he chooses. In his presence, her nervous system relaxes. And that, psychologically, is where attraction begins. Because attraction isn't just emotional, it's biological. The body reads safety as chemistry. That's why an older man can seem irresistibly attractive without trying. It's not what he says, it's how he makes her feel. Emotional maturity is the first and most powerful factor. Older men have usually faced rejection, loss, and failure, experiences that teach self-regulation. They've learned not to take things personally, not to explode when emotions run high. They can sit with discomfort and handle both their own feelings and someone else's. That emotional steadiness feels extraordinary to a younger woman who's used to partners who avoid, ghost, or argue over nothing. She doesn't have to beg for empathy or teach basic communication. For once, she feels seen. Emotional maturity isn't strictly about age, but time often forces growth, and that's why it shows up more often in older men. The second reason is confidence, but not the loud kind. It's a quiet, grounded confidence that says, "I know who I am." Psychologists call this a secure self-concept, meaning your worth doesn't depend on validation. An older man doesn't need to impress anyone. He's already accepted himself. Younger women are drawn to that emotional gravity because it feels like truth in a world full of performance. While others compete for attention, he's simply present. And presence, true, undivided presence, is one of the most magnetic forms of attraction. Many women describe it the same way. When I'm with men my age, I feel like I'm auditioning. When I'm with an older man, I can just be me. That's not about age. It's about emotional safety. In a generation drowning in uncertainty, stability becomes rare and deeply attractive. Younger women today face financial stress, social pressure, and burnout. They're strong, independent, but tired of inconsistency. So when she meets someone who follows through, who texts when he says he will, who keeps his word, she feels safe. Stability creates predictability, and predictability calms the brain. It's not about money or power, it's about reliability. That's what builds emotional trust, and trust is the foundation of real attraction. Then comes emotional depth. After years of surface-level conversations and performative affection, depth feels intoxicating. Older men often bring that not because of wisdom alone, but because they've lived. They've reflected, healed, and learned to be comfortable with vulnerability. This emotional vocabulary allows for deeper intimacy, not just physical, but intellectual and soulful. Psychologists call this intellectual intimacy the connection that forms when two people share meaning, conversation, and curiosity about life. For many women, that's revolutionary. She's no longer being entertained, she's being understood. Imagine talking to someone who asks what drives you, what scares you, what makes you feel alive, not how many followers you have. That's the kind of attention that awakens something deeper. Now, let's address a misunderstood layer: the father figure archetype. Many assume this attraction is about seeking a parent replacement, but psychology explains it differently. It's not about wanting a father. It's about being drawn to the qualities a healthy father symbolizes: protection, wisdom, guidance, and stability. When someone grows up without consistent emotional security, their subconscious naturally seeks that safety later in life. This isn't manipulation, it's healing. As one woman said, he made me feel safe enough to be soft again. That's not weakness, that's restoration. Real safety allows vulnerability. Society often labels what it doesn't understand, calling such relationships transactional or manipulative. But most of these connections are emotional, not material. She's not after his wealth. She's drawn to his calm. He's not obsessed with her youth. He's drawn to her openness and vitality. It's not a power imbalance, it's an exchange of energy, of peace for passion, of wisdom for wonder. Psychologically, people criticize what challenges their worldview. When we see something that doesn't fit our narrative, we label it wrong instead of reflecting on it. That's why relationships between younger women and older men trigger people, because they expose a hidden truth. Everyone is craving safety and emotional depth in a world that glorifies chaos. This isn't about age. It's about energy. Attraction mirrors our inner world. We are drawn to what we crave, what we need to heal, or what we aspire to become. When someone says, "I'm attracted to calm energy," what they really mean is, "I'm tired of chaos." When they say, "I want maturity," they mean, "I'm ready for peace." The growing attraction to older men reveals something bigger, a generational hunger for emotional safety. So there's no reason for shame. Choosing peace over drama isn't weakness, it's growth. And for men, this is a lesson too: you don't have to be older to be mature. Emotional regulation, honesty, and consistency are timeless forms of strength. Build stability not just with money, but with your words, your presence, your energy. Because real masculinity isn't dominance, it's protection through peace. And for women, being drawn to maturity doesn't mean you're broken or dependent. It means you value emotional intelligence over emotional games. You're not looking for someone to save you, you're looking for someone who meets you where you are. That's not dependency. That's alignment. In the end, love isn't about age, it's about energy. Some people bring chaos, others bring calm. Some drain you, others ground you. What we're really seeking is connection that feels safe enough to grow in. So if you're drawn to someone older, understand the psychology behind it. It's not the years in his life that attract you, but the peace in his presence. And if you're that man, remember, your power isn't in age but in your energy and your wisdom without control, your strength without dominance, your love without ego. Modern attraction is evolving toward emotional intelligence, safety, and authenticity. People are done with games and illusions. They want something real, not loud, but steady. Younger women aren't obsessed with older men. They're drawn to what those men represent: peace, maturity, depth, and presence. And that isn't a trend, it's a reflection of what our generation truly craves. Because in a world addicted to noise, calm is the loudest thing you can be. Love doesn't chase attention. It creates safety. It's not found in chaos, it grows in peace. And when two people find that kind of connection, age simply disappears, and what remains is what we've all been looking for: peace in each other's presence.